Order the February 28th special meeting of the City Council. Wendy, can we do roll call, please?
Yes. Roll call. Mayor Hasselbrink.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Doby.
Here.
Councilmember B.
Here.
Councilmember Turco.
Here.
Councilmember Nafolda.
Here.
Perfect. And special order of the day, we're going to be interviewing appointments for city commissions. We're having a little bit change of plans. Mr. Riley, who's an incumbent on the Planning Commission, today gave us notice that he is not going to be reapplying, so that leaves us with 5 applicants and 5 spots open. So we are going to be interviewing Mr. Zelmer, Davis Zelmer. He's interested, lives in Suburbia. And so we'll go ahead and we'll just get to know him. He is on the phone, so we'll go ahead and kick it off with the questions. I'll go ahead and start. Colleagues, you've got the questions on the thing? Hi, Mr. Zellner, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm having trouble hearing you. You sound a little distant.
Because I kind of am. How are we going to do this?
I'm sorry, you said you were having trouble hearing them?
We sound
Yeah, it sounds just a little muffled. I can only pick up about every third word or so.
Okay, you know what, Wendy, would you be able to read the questions? Just because you're so close to the phone, and then we'll just be able to hear the responses? That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Zelmer, can you hear me okay?
I could hear fine.
Okay, great. I'll go ahead and read the questions for you, and then council will be here listening.
Perfect.
So our first question we have for you is, what special traits, characteristics, or experience do you bring to the Planning Commission?
Yeah, so I'm a estate planning attorney. So all I do day in and day out is do estate planning and probate matters for clients. So I'm constantly looking at and assessing a whole client situation to determine what is best for them from an estate planning perspective. When it comes to city planning, I was also an engineer prior to going to law school, and I was a structural engineer. And so I also understand different planning codes. I've had to deal with different cities to deal with, all their city codes and overall arching planning developments and things like that for areas. So I think I bring a wide range of knowledge to the table when it comes to being part of a planning commission.
Question number 2, why do you want to serve on the Planning Commission?
It's always my honor to be able to give back to the city I belong. I've lived in the city of Los Alamitos for about 8 years now. I was born and raised in Long Beach, and my aunt lived in the Highlands for over 30 years. And being here now, it's always a nice opportunity to be able to give back and contribute my wealth of knowledge and expertise to any situation or city that I belong to. So when Mark told me of the opportunity, I really did want to jump on it right away because I thought it could be a good fit.
Question number 3, what do you think is or are the most important, the most significant issues facing the Planning Commission?
Honestly, with COVID the last 2 years, that has to be number one. But now that it seems to be that we're fading out of that, now it would have to be how to drive businesses back towards Los Alamitos. I understand that, some businesses have been drawn away. And, for instance, I talked to somebody the other day that wanted to build a batting cage here, and he was having some issues, and he ended up going to a different city. And so I hope to just be able to bring people back so not only our locals, but people from outside the city will be able to come in and enjoy our businesses and the way the city is planned out.
Question number 4, in your own words, what do you feel is the role of the Planning Commission in Los Alamitos?
The Planning Commission, in my opinion, is probably assessing city council rules, city codes to determine, what businesses, what different structures, planning can be come into the city. Make sure there's enough area for people to congregate, keeping the green belt. Working along with the Parks and Recreation Commission to be able to plan the cityscape so that we can maximize our opportunity here in the Los Alamitos area.
And your last question, when considering actions by the Planning Commission, how do you balance the best interests of the entire community against the likes and dislikes of yourself, your friends, and your neighbors?
You know, as in my experience, you know, there's always been things that I can disagree with people on and agree with people on, but in my opinion, it's always about the entire society as a whole, which best suits the society as a whole. So when I try to approach things, regardless of what my personal feelings are, I do, you know, try to contribute to what the majority of people would want to see happen with the city. I'm constantly talking with neighbors, family, friends that are all in the neighborhood and trying to gather information as to what they like. I'm currently a head coach for 3 different teams for my children. And when I approach that, I always say, you know, how can I improve? What can I do better? What do you want me to work on with your kids? And I would take the same approach in this aspect, asking questions and getting the feel of what the community wants, not just what, you know, the 5 individuals or the 6 individuals on the Planning Commission think is best. So.
Very good. Great, thank you so much. I'll bring it back to our colleagues. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Zelmer? Anybody here? Mark, do you have any questions for Davis?
I do not, thank you.
Okay. And seeing that we have 5 applicants for 5 positions, if there's no objection, could I get a motion to approve all of them for our Planning Commission?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, and roll call vote, please, Wendy?
We have a roll call vote to appoint the Planning Commission applicants Art DeBolt, Mary Ann Quilty, Wendy Gross, Gary Lowe, and Davis Zelmer for terms ending in December 2024. Motion by Councilmember Bates, seconded by Councilmember Chirko. Roll call, Mayor Hasselbrink,
Yes?
Mayor Pro Tem Doby,
Yes.
Councilmember Bates,
Yes.
Councilmember Chirko,
Yes.
Councilmember Nafolda.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Great. Okay, with that being our only order of business today, we're going to go ahead and adjourn the special meeting, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes for the regular meeting.